I think we are live now. Welcome to the stream, guys. We're just going to have a quick roundup of the first round of the 153rd Open Championship. I've managed to catch a few glimpses today in between work, a bit of DIY at home today, so I haven't seen a ton of it, but I've got to see some pretty interesting things. I'm just watching the end of the golf now. If anybody in the chat there is also watching it, drop down your thoughts, your predictions. I've got the leaderboard up here for us to have a wee look at. I doubt that's going to change much over the next 10 or 20 minutes as the last groups just come in here to finish. I'm just too busy setting the stream up here, so I'm not even sure if Rory is through 17 yet. Rosie now putting for par, to see if par here on 18. Sitting at 2 under, solid round from him. No doubt he's going to shoot the lights out over tomorrow, round 3, day 4. It's what he does, So let me just make sure we are 100% live here. Let me see, check up the channel. Live, looks like we are indeed live. Delightful stuff. Should be able to pull a chat up then. Yep, there we are. Have a look, see if we can get this live chat. Tommy Fleetwood making a nice wee birdie there. Good to see him clawing one back. Maybe it hasn't been his best day today, but he's far from out of it, After yesterday I put up my prediction video, there's not a ton of the guys right up there. I did mention how I love Matt Fitzpatrick, even though he wasn't one of my choices, but we can see he's sitting tied first here. Olsen, great eagle today to get him to 4 under. I believe he was at 5 under at one stage. Lee, solid stuff today. We've got Harris English. He's still out there. So he's 4 under through 16. Let's see, Scotty. Solid round. Scotty didn't really hit many fairways today, so it's still super impressive that he's sitting at 3 under. We can have a quick look at his strokes gained to see where he actually made those up. Probably going to be through his approach play, as you can imagine. There's Hatton. He was one of my predictions, sitting 3 under. Solid round. Højgaard was shooting the lights out real early this morning. Oh, there you are, Rasmus. So we've got Rasmus sitting tied 10th with his brother. That's good. It's nice to see Rasmus back in some form. He's had a wee bit of a drop off as Nikolai's actually been picking up over the past year or so. Rosie 2 under. Uncle Phil was shaping some shots today. Great to see Phil out there. I'm a big YouTube watcher. Love what he's doing for the YouTube game. Love the duels matches with Grant. It just really gets to show off Phil's personality, and it just makes it even better when you get to see him out there competing at the very highest level. For a golfer with his experience and his age to still be doing that is just phenomenal, and it looks like he's a lot trimmer as well over the past couple of years. Shane Lowry, there we are, 2019 Open winner, solid round, right in the mix. Sander, even. Solid. Rory, a few putts early just weren't dropping for him for birdie. He was a few under, back to even. He seemed to be a wee bit aggressive today from what I could see. Off the tee, not really sure that's the best strategy. You know, he's hitting driver in situations where other people just wouldn't have been. Getting into a wee bit of bother then. That's how we look down here. Straka, loads and loads of people, +1. You know, even par, +1. DJ +2 is not the worst. I know Bryson has had a bit of a nightmare today, and I haven't even seen him yet. Minwoo, Tommy +3. That should update soon. I believe he's +2 after that birdie he just had a couple of minutes ago. Padraig, decent round. Still kind of in it, you know. Probably don't want to be much further out than +4, and you're really hoping for 2 or 3 under tomorrow to give yourself a chance. Yeah, there's Bryson there, +6 through 17. That's an absolute nightmare, and he's going to need to shoot the lights out tomorrow to have any chance of making a cut. Patrick Reed, he was one of my picks. You know, I don't even care. It's good to see him, you know, maybe not being near the top of that leaderboard. Look, we'll go have a wee... Sorry, we'll get that leaderboard back to where it should be. And we will go have a look at some strokes gained. We'll pull up Data Golf. See what we can do here. That is the stream. We don't need to be seeing the stream, Chris. Here we are. Data Golf. See where this pulls up. Okay, I'll just keep you guys. I'll keep this on the big screen. If I put it up in the corner there, it just might be a little difficult to see. So, as we go through this, we can see there's Olesen at the top, strokes gained. Putting, you know, is his strongest point today, and then he's still gaining a stroke around the greens, approaches off the tee. As we're Lee again, it's all about the putting and approaches. You know, 3 strokes, above 3 strokes for putting is insane. And then strokes gained 2.8 on approach. See if you guys can't see this, I'll zoom in a tiny bit more, it might help. Matt Fitzpatrick, bit of a different story. The cack-handed warrior. So his putting, it's been, you know, stable. You know, he's nearly gaining a stroke, but around the greens, plus 2.85. He did have that dunk of a birdie. Can't remember what hole it was, maybe 11 or so, I'm not sure. You know, it's just mad how that man is out there, cack-handed, pitching around the greens. And to me, when I saw him doing it, he was definitely doing it last season. I can't remember if he started it slightly in 2023 or not, but it just screams to me that somebody's a wee bit lost in their game if they're going to that. And he has said time and time again how this would have been a drill of his anyway, and it just almost guarantees him good contact on the ball. I've never tried it myself, outside of just messing about, you know, maybe I finish the hole and waiting for a playing partner or something to play, and I'll maybe chip the ball back to my bag or something. It's not easy, but it's clearly working for the guy. Like, that's an insane amount, you know, nearly 3 strokes gained from around the green due to that. So whatever works, it works. Bezuidenhout, same story. The putters are doing unbelievably well. So if you're making putts, as you can imagine, that's really the difference between a lot of these guys right now. A lot of these guys are 3 strokes better, so it's the difference between, you know, 1 under to 4 under. Have we look down here? Scotty putting pretty well around the green, not his best, but look at that, is ridiculous. because off the tee, as I was saying, I'm not sure what the official stat is, but well, we can say he's minus nearly a full stroke off the tee. It should actually rank him here. So 117th out of the field. My God, even looking down there, look at Nicolai Højgaard, 151st for off the tee. That is diabolical stuff. You can only imagine they're going to learn their story, or learn their lesson, sorry, tomorrow. Let's go back there. There's Scotty. So, actually we can pull up the whole scorecard here. So we can. There we are, greens and reg. Fairways, nope. 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 Nope, 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 nope. The guy hit one fairway on the back nine. That's ludicrous. And to only hit one fairway, so to only hit one fairway, but for your approaches to be that good is insanity. Like, as you can imagine, it's much more difficult to hit a green from the rough or that wispy fescue at Portrush, and Scotty has been doing it absolutely no problem. It just speaks volumes at how incredible his approach play is and the difference that makes, and it's why he's ranked, you know, #1 in the world. Let's get that strokes gain data back up. Have a look at some other guys, maybe to see where they've maybe been struggling. So let's see it. Nicolai's putting has saved him, like, completely. Plus 3.64 strokes gained on his putting. Like, that's insane. And it just shows, you know, if he had been hitting more fairways, like, who knows what could have happened. Let's see, any comparison to his brother. He's just a bit more stable across the board. Lost a wee bit around the greens, actually. But plus 1.34 off the tee, plus 2 for putting. There's Rory has just made his approach there. He's back to 1 under. Good to see. Left his approach in 18 a wee bit short there. It's tough pin right down there on the left. Should actually see a lot of the guys were actually bailing out right quite a lot on 18 and just going for the 2-putt, you know, get into the clubhouse, reassess. Let's see Tommy here, see if he can do anything. Maybe. I imagine he's still going to be conservative here, but might be a little bit more aggressive at plus 2. Come on, Tommy. Well, that's the story. He is, not only has he hit that long, but he's just well right off the pin. There's just, I just don't think you can go anywhere near it. If you pull it a touch, a foot, you're probably down off the green and you're short-sided. Be a horrible shot back up. So pull Data Golf back up, get down there, have a wee look at Rory actually then. Maybe need to, I don't know if this refreshes live or not, so we will do it anyway. There we are, Rory McIlroy, 1 under. What is his story today? So, yep, there it is. So, minus 1.05 off the tee. It's not the worst thing in the world. I did talk about it in my prediction video yesterday. Rory's accuracy is what tends to let him down. His distance is what gains him strokes, but it's not really going to be the story at Portrush. So let's see. Yeah, the guy, fairways just not happening on the front nine. And I hasn't pulled up the data yet for the 17th. I think he was hitting from the fairway, but I'm not sure. So he's hit, what's showing there, 2 out of 12. It hasn't registered this, the 18th yet. I'm not sure what happened on 17, didn't get to see that, so, maybe he's gained a fairway or two back there, but regardless, we're Rory. See if we can. I'm saying, you see, so his accuracy was, I don't know if anyone caught the video yesterday, but his driving accuracy is what has been letting him down, minus 0.9, and that's pretty consistent with what he's been doing today anyway, so it kind of is to be expected. We'll go back in here. Refresh this page, get his wee drop down away. Let's see what the problem with Fleetwood has been today. Where are we? He's +2. Wow, okay, so Tommy, he's just been down. His putting's the only thing that's kind of kept him in there, to be honest. Approach around the green and off the tees all between minus 0.6, minus 0.9 nearly. So he just hasn't had a good round at all. And we can see it just really does seem to be the putters today. By making putts today, you've given yourself the best chance. It's a pretty typical story, but you can't brute force your way around Portrush. It's not happening. Maybe Rory will come out with a slightly different tactic tomorrow, taking less club, hit more fairways, get a bit closer to the pin, and make more birdies. So it's been an interesting day. Some things to be expected. Scotty being up there, as I was saying, pretty insane considering he wasn't hitting fairways. Rory, same story. He's got a very long birdie putt here. We'll see how he does to finish up 18. Oh, what a roll. Just missed that. Oof. So he's about an inch outside the cup there. Good effort, so that should be him in for par, finishing the day at 1 under. Probably delighted with that. If you had to give him 1 under at the start of the day, I'm sure he would have taken it. Conditions did seem to get a wee bit better, actually, a bit more favourable for the guys who came out a bit later in the evening. But all in all, classic Rory. Birds on the card, but bogeys on the card. Seems to be the story for a lot of the top guys today, to be fair. Let's have a look at that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that was 4 bogeys today, so I'm sure he'll be looking to eliminate some of that tomorrow. Hit some more fairways. I believe now we've just got Tommy to come in, see how he does. Okay, JT, +1, birdie putt from about 20 feet. Missed a couple of inches. He's left himself about 3.5 feet for the comeback. I'm sure he'll roll that in. JT was one of the guys I actually picked. It's just the same story, at one stage there JT was a couple under. Quite early on, and he had 4 birdies on the card, but he had 2 bogeys to go with them. So, as you can imagine, a few more bogeys have just creeped on in the back 9, and it is what it is. But we'll watch Tommy and JT finish out here. Okay, Tommy has rolled that in. Finish there. Par 4. 73 today plus 2. It's not the worst in the world. If you can shoot a couple under tomorrow, he's still got a great chance. As long as, these guys at the top of the leaderboard aren't coming out again and shooting 4 or 5 under to give himself, -9 after day 2. Pretty much anybody in around level par still in it. JT rolled in for par, +1, 72 for the day. So solid enough. As I said, I actually picked JT. Put a very small amount of money on him each way. So we'd like to see him do a wee bit better tomorrow. And yeah, so there we are. There's day 1. Pretty much wrapped up. Let me know. Leave a comment. Any surprises? Any disappointments? I know it's pretty disappointed with Collin Morikawa today. I'm not even 100% sure where he finished up. I should be able to pull that up on the leaderboard. Let's see if we can scroll down here quickly without missing Collin. And I saw him hit a few shots earlier, and it just looked like he was even left, but hitting pulls or slight draws, he just, +4. So there's Brooks in the same story. Rand Fox, surprising. Rand Fox has been very, very good recently. Collin just, it looked like he just couldn't trust his fate today, and that's a big problem when you can't trust your stock shot. So let's go down to see if we can find him here. I'll have one last look at him. I'll pull up his stats for you. Where is he? Here we go. Collin +4. Yeah, so -2.41 for approach. And that's really just not good enough when you're considered to be, one of the best iron players in the world. The guy just wasn't hitting greens, or wasn't putting the ball close enough. It's quite simple. So yeah, pretty disappointed in Collin. I picked him. Same story. I put a very small amount of money on him each way as well. But it looks like he's likely to struggle unless he comes out and shoots 4 or 5 under tomorrow. Then Collin might struggle to make the cut. It is what it is. As I said, it just depends. Golf is just the most unpredictable sport out there, and yeah, unless it was the Tiger era where, I don't know, you could have risked a lot for that man to win, and he'd probably come through with it. But these days you can't even, you're lucky to even be able to pick a winner out at the start of the 4th round. It really is that unpredictable. There's so much pressure, there's so much competition, there's so much talent, and a complete nobody. And when I say a nobody, it could be somebody still in the top 200, but you know what I mean. It's really anybody's game. Exciting round 1. We'll see what tomorrow holds, and remember to give me a wee like, subscribe, leave a comment below for your thoughts on day 1. Thank you.